Hi, awesome kindergarten parents. It's Mrs. St. Andre again, and I am here to show you the writing strategy called word walls. So word walls are an important part of kindergarten writing. It's also an important part of that productive struggle, in which yesterday's video I talked about giving your child the rope to help them out of the pit. Word walls is one way to support your child so that they can figure out words and write them down without tears. It's a strategy that we use in kindergarten. All right, so how to make them and when we use them. Here we go. So first of all, I want to show you a sample of kindergarten writing middle of the year. This child is doing a fantastic job. If your child's writing looks like this, thumbs up, keep working, keep fine-tuning. If your child's writing doesn't look like this, that's okay. This is our goal. I'm sharing this just so you know what the goal is and what the teachers are wanting as an example of what we should be looking at. So as you can see, in good kindergarten writing at this time of year, we want to have detailed pictures. So this child has spent time adding a detailed picture. Could she add more? Yeah, she could. She could have added grass and flowers and all of those things, but this is really very well detailed. So the dog, they have ears, has a little face on them. You can see the eyes and the smiley face. Fantastic work. There's the sun, there's multiple parts, and the child used different pictures. Now, the reason why we need detailed pictures is that is your child's way of formulating their idea. They might have started this writing piece without an idea of what they wanted to do, and as they went on, they got an idea, and their child now knows what they're going to write about. I call this piece the buy-in. If your child doesn't enjoy writing, drawing pictures, you can get buy-in a different way. You can get buy-in through Legos. You can get buy-in through clay. You can get buy-in through another medium that isn't drawing. So talk to your teacher about different ways to do it and different ways to get your child excited about writing, but really how your child gets their thought process going. That's the point of detailed pictures. We want detailed pictures so that we can encourage children to think about their thoughts for longer and more sustained time. Now, this child worked on her detailed picture, and now she's into labeling. She did a fantastic job of phonetically sounding out the word. In yesterday's Parent Corner, I modeled what sounding out a word looks like. And this child was able to do it independently. Your child might still need that support. They might still need you to sound out the word really slow so they can count the words. But what it looks like is here. This child did this. They said dog. They drew a picture of a dog. They knew that's what they wanted. And then they went, this is what sounding out looks like. D, o, g. Hearing every single sound. That's number one. If your child can't do that yet, you might want to do it with them. You model it and then have them do it. It's counting out the sounds. D, o, g. And putting the sounds in order. D, o, g. And writing those sounds in order from left to right in a line. Some children, that's an important part of labeling. So this child did that for 4 different words, for dog, sun, cloud, and girl. Now, as you see, cloud, girl, and sun are not written the way that an adult would write them, but those are the sounds a child heard, and that child did it independently. That child should be kissing their brain. They made connections, and they understand how to blend a word and how to connect those sounds. Fantastic. That's the difficult part in labeling. Now, when that child was done labeling, they went in to write their simple sentence using sight words and phonetically spelled words. This child relied on the sight words that she has been practicing up until this point of the year. I like, and then she went up to use the words dog. She continued on the sentence, right? Oh, sorry. Right here, the dog see girl. Fantastic job. She used the sight words that she knows and the words she used in the labels. I love it. This is exactly what we're looking for this time of year. Now, I've modeled how we do our phonetic spelling. Let me talk a little bit more about sight words. In kindergarten at Humphreys West Elementary School, we have two different modes of sight words. We have benchmark sight words, which are the words explicitly taught in our curriculum, and we have the ball word champs, or the ball word words. Those are a child-run, family-supported sight word program. Let me talk more about them if you don't know. Now, first of all, for in benchmark, our curriculum runs out approximately 2 words a week with 1 word of review. And in this document that you can find linked onto the page has every single word we've taught explicitly through our curriculum by unit. It's not it's not by alphabetical. We have it here by unit. Now, I did that on purpose so you as parents and for your child to see we are now in Unit 4, which means we have explicitly taught the words I, like, the, we, go, see, can, she, a, is. And we are currently teaching he, has, little, and play. We have not addressed these words down here, so we don't expect for your child to be able to spell them, recognize them, or use them in a sentence. Your child might be able to, or they might be able to sound out, but right now, these are the words we have explicitly taught into the curriculum. If your child doesn't know these yet, that's okay. You can do it. You can practice your sight words different ways, but right now I'm going to talk about reading. So in that word wall, if you take this paper and print it out or have your child copy them or write them, and your child wants to write the sentence, I like the dog, they're going to maybe remember the word I, they're going to write out the word like, the, and dog. But if they can't remember like, if they're asking you how to spell like, you can print this out and you can say, well, let's go to our sight words word wall and we're going to find that word like. And your child can go through this list and you can even fold it. So just unit 1, 2, 3, and 4 are shown, or you can highlight it so your child knows where they're looking. And they can go, without you telling them or pointing to the word like, they can go find the word like somewhere on this list. And they will use their phonetics. They know it's going to start with an L. They might see, oh, this one starts with an L, like, oh, it can't be that one because it doesn't have a k sound in it. And keep looking for another word like. There we go. Like, your child just found like, and now it's okay for your child to use copy strategy because you didn't give them the word. They found the word on the list, they read the word on the list, and now they're going to copy it into their writing so that if they wanted to use this word like, I like, they can copy it from the word wall as long as they found it on their own. And that is the productive struggle part of writing. They need to be able to find the word on their own, make the connection that that's the word, and then they can copy it. Likewise, if this child had just written the word like from memory, L-I-K, I like the dog without that sneaky E, when it comes down to checking your work or revising your work, you can go to this list and you can say, okay, check your sight words. Okay, do you know how to spell like? And they can say, oh, I forgot the E. And they'll write that down. That process will also help them in their writing and recognizing that sight word as they get into reading fluently. Now, we have a second word list. This is the ball words. Now, this isn't the list. It doesn't look like this. What happens and what we've been doing in the classroom, and each teacher will continue this program in their own way as we're in remote learning. But in the classroom, if your child has gotten top banana or has shown their teacher that they know the letters fluently, then they get the next list. The first list is baseball words. Your child might not be on the ball word program yet. They might still be working on their fluent letters. That's okay. But once we have this list, there's baseball list, they'll have this first. And they're working on mastering these sight words. You can print this out and your baseball words can become a word wall list where your child can check for the word you or said. This is a really hard one. A lot of kids don't know how to write that. If they write out the word, I said no, and they wrote it S-E-D, go ahead, let them write that out. But when it comes time to going back and checking the word, you can say, okay, let's check our baseball words. And they can find the word said and realize they didn't spell it right. Now, depending on where your child is, you can print out your baseball words or your soccer words, basketball words. This is a lot more. I'm going to just scroll down so parents know how many more sight words there are available than what we explicitly teach in our curriculum. That's fine. We have this, the Ball Word program is designed to have is designed to go at your child's pace. So if your child is still in the beginning part of the kindergarten hill and they are still working on their sight words, great, that's what we want to focus on. If your child's on ball word list, fantastic. If your child is getting up that hill a little bit faster, we want to provide that. So we have the ball word program. If you're not quite sure what we're talking about, reach out to your child's teacher. But you can print these words out and they can become a resource for your child in their writing. So when they don't know how to spell something, or if they're looking for words, they can reach out, find the words on their own. Now, another way we can do it, another way we use word walls is to have a list written out for special vocabulary. So as an example, in our social studies writing unit that hopefully you have already started on Monday, we will be doing a research project and we're trying to answer the question, who is Dr. Martin Luther King? During your research, which you'll be doing on your own, you might find words that your child won't be able to write. They won't be able to sound out, but you think are important parts and it'll be helpful for them as they begin to do their writing. First of all, you're going to need Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. These are a lot of letters for kids. It's like a whole sentence all to itself. You can write that down so your child can always go back and use copy strategy for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. They're going to recognize that as one big, giant, long phrase as his name. You can put that down on your research word wall. Civil rights movement is another thing that you might come across in your research as you answer the question, who is Dr. Martin Luther King? That's another really big concept, a really big phrase. You might want to have that up on a research wall. So if your child's asking for it, it's up there and your child can go find it, point to it. You can confirm that's the correct word and then they can use copy strategy. It's different than you just pointing to it and telling them. The struggle is finding the word and reading the word, making the connection, and then copying it. You might also need some other words. Dream, that's not a kindergarten word. Anything with two vowels together, your kindergartner will not know how to sound out. But if you think it's important to have it written out properly, they can still do it phonetically, or you can add it to their word wall, and then they'll be able to find it and check on it. The word boycott, Alabama, Washington, D.C., speech. All of these things are big words that are not expected to be phonetic or might be a little bit difficult to sound out, like speech, because our students don't have that ch sound yet. We haven't taught that rule. You can put that down and your student can find out the adult way to write that word. And as long as they're finding the word on their own or you guys are finding it together, then that is that's one strategy of writing that's beyond sounding out, because sounding out, we just can't do that all the time. So I hope that if you've learned a new strategy to help your child with writing. So right now your child has two different strategies. We have that sound out the word, And we also have word walls. You can print them out, put them up on your fridge. You can dedicate an entire wall to word walls. You can have multiple word walls. You can write them alphabetically. You can have a math word wall. So you have your math vocabulary, a science word wall, and a research word wall, all different ways so your child knows where to go and find those words. I hope this will help you in your writing journey. If you have any more questions, please feel free to reach out to your teacher. If you have questions for me about writing, they will forward those questions to me and I can make another video. I hope these are helpful and I hope you have an awesome Osprey day.